What's up, you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Transformers action figure review on the Transformers Studios series Autobot Hot Rod from the Transformers The Last Night movie. I don't have any hate over this Hot Rod. No. This is not the same Hot Rod from the 86 movie. So all my anger and all those frustrations about Hot Rod are not going to be in this review, okay? Until we get to the comparisons, you may see it come back. Anyway, you can see a nice image of Hot Rod on one side with the 93, and we get another image of Hot Rod. Well, it's the same image on the other side. It will take 23 steps to get him transformed, and then you have a Transformers The Last Night logo on the top and not much more on the bottom. So let's get to it and crack this thing open. But first, if you're trying to get your Transformers figures, you can do so at
Big! Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
And here's Hot Rod out of the packaging, and I love how this alt mode looks. What a sleek looking Lamborghini. I really like it a lot. I really do like both modes a lot, thus me reviewing this figure. Anyway, I do have my complaints, mostly with the accessory, which you cannot see right here. So let's get a closer look at that, and then we'll take a closer look at the figure. So we get the cardboard backdrop with 93, and yeah, you can see how Hot Rod fits on here. I had to lean this all back so he could balance, and yeah, you get the one gun right over here. I will throw this in the trash, and this doesn't look too bad. I think the paint apps on it are actually pretty impressive with all these blue dots right here, so I think it actually looks pretty good as a weapon. I just don't like the weapon storage because you're supposed to just peg it on to the back of the figure right here, so you get this little post right here, and yeah, you could do that if you want. You could also plug in effects over here if you wanted to, also from Marvel Legends. They kind of fit in there. It's actually not fitting perfectly in there. You may need sticky tack or something, but you know, you may fit something in there for some blast effects. The thing that's frustrating is that there's this empty space right over here that feels like this almost fits in there. Like, I don't know if they tried to get the engineering down for it and it just didn't work out, but it's like so almost, right? So close, but no, not quite. So they added an extra little notch right here, and bam, now you have it on top of the car. That's not disguise. So I love the design of this Lamborghini Centenario. This looks gorgeous. Now, yeah, the figure is broken up with a lot of transforming panel lines and stuff. You could see that throughout. But you get some nice paint right over here, some nice detailed paint with the silver. I love the orange trim throughout on this thing. I really love how compact and smushed this is, like a proper Lamborghini. Really looks good, man. Nice trim paint right over here. I believe it is missing some paint on the back, though. I think we're supposed to have orange paint along these lines moving down, but I still think they did a really good job with this. Getting this lined up every time perfectly is a little bit tricky. And you can see how this is broken up with some black paint right over here. And yeah, I just think this looks really good. Maybe if they used black plastic for the wheels, that would have been better. Getting some silver paint on the rims, that would have been cool, I guess. I don't know if the images I found... Yeah, some silver right here would have been nice. And more of a black color for the tires themselves would have been pretty cool to see. You can see the Lamborghini logo in gold in the front right over there. Then again, there's the undercarriage. And he rolls quite well. I can't complain about the rolling. He does roll very well. I love that about my cars. Now to get the regular white backdrop here and to measure out this alt mode for Hot Rod, you can see he's at about 5 inches across and oh so short, only at about, I don't know, 1.25 inches tall. Then for a Lamborghini comparison, I had to compare Hot Rod, which is Centario Lamborghini. We have the Countach Lamborghini right here, and then we have the Age of Extinction Lockdown, which is an Aventador. Or I'm probably pronouncing them all wrong, but I tried. I did look them up. This figure is a bit smaller. I mean, this is a masterpiece figure right over here, so I'm not really that surprised. But between these two, yeah, I mean, this Age of Extinction figure, I don't think this is the Studio Series version. I'm having a hard time remembering right now, but I think this is the original Age of Extinction figure right over here. And yeah, I mean, look how small the newer figure is compared to the older one. Very noticeable difference. And then here's Hot Rod next to the Batman Begins figure from Mattel. I think this is a Batman Begins figure or the Dark Knight figure, but hey, you know, remember Bruce Wayne had a Lamborghini? I just had to show off these two side by side. All right, we got 26 steps to get this guy transformed, and I will need some help, so will you take us away, Bumblebee? And we're going through the directions backwards. So anyway, step 26 is popping these tires out right here and flipping them around and getting them to connect on the doors. Step 25 is lifting this and getting that in front right there. 24, bring down the arms. 23, we're going to detach. 22, we're going to detach these right here on each side. Step 21, this is going to rotate right here, but you kind of want to get these doors out of the way. So we're going to go ahead and lift and spin right here for this whole top piece. Sorry, not including the windshield, just the canopy right over here. That's going to rotate all the way around. Put that back. Step 21, move this down. Step 20, we can move this up. 19, make sure these are down. 18, swing this across the back of his head. So make sure this comes all the way down right here. And for step 17, we're going to smush these two pieces in right here, making a chest. It's not really a step, but you want to make sure that the shoulders are up and out of the way. I don't remember seeing that as a step, but getting back to the steps, 16, we're going to fold these in right here. 15, we're going to push this up and inward like that, and that clicks together nicely. 14, we're going to click this in place. 13, rotate the head. 12, 11, 10, rotate and rotate. 9, we're going to flip down and flip down here. Steps 8 and 7 are just a matter of getting these legs to come down right over here and form the lower part of the leg. Step 6, step 5, step 4. Move this up for step 3. Step 2, and then make sure these two clear plastic holes are tabbing into these gray tabs right here on the back for step 1. Now we have Hot Rod in his robot mode up on an amazing Yamaguchi flight stand. He does have the port for that, which is great, and I really like the posability of this robot mode. I also really like the way it looks. I mean, just the fact that I like the aesthetics of both modes just makes me really happy with this piece. Anyway, let's get a closer look. So I really like the head sculpt over here. Paint apps look really nice and clean with the orange and blue right there, and we get some nice gunmetal gray in the center right there on the top of the head and some silver bits above the eyebrows, or for the eyebrows anyway. But I really like that face sculpt a lot. So weird, they gave him a French accent for like no reason at all whatsoever. God, the Bayformers. I still love them, but damn it, I kind of hate them all at the same time. But the frame of this figure looks really good. I like the proportions throughout. I like all the sculpted detail right over here. That looks really good. I like how the chest comes together from the car mode, or the alt mode anyway. And then we have the arms broken up with some color right here where we have silver. Then we have this brownish gray color that we see throughout most of the figure. And then, yeah, you can see the inside of the tire right there, or how those wheels connect. And then more details sculpted in right over here. And I do like how the legs look. They have a lot of orange painted on here, and it just looks really good to me. I like this. Now, it does look a little bit weird having the tires just facing backwards, but that does help with the articulation, which I'll get into more in just a little bit. And then there's a little piece right over here close to the spoiler that comes off a little easier than I'd like to see have happen. But here's looking at the back, and I love how it doesn't have a backpack. Like, you have these pieces right over here, but, you know, compared to Lockdown, look at that. Big old piece backpack, you know, this is all compact and everything, really smushed together. This can rotate on me sometimes, but other than that, I think this is a great looking robot mode. So I do love the articulation, but there are parts that do frustrate me with the articulation. You can get the head to turn side to side, and he will look up a bit, and you can get the figure to look down just a tad. Shoulders will shift up and down due to transformation, and you can get them moving outward right there at the shoulder nicely. You have ball joints over here, so you can move that a full 360. You have a bicep swivel, single jointed elbows that meet the 90-degree mark. You have wrist swivels. You have a waist swivel right here. The hips will move outward very far. I tend to accidentally pop these off the ball joints at the hips, but you could almost do the splits right there, which is a pretty fair range of movement, and you can get them to kick forward and back. There's an upper thigh cut in there. Single jointed knees, just make sure that you have that clearance from the tire. I tend to kind of push that outward, and then I get a 90-degree bend right over there. And then you do get ankles that move down and up, partly due to transformation. You get side-to-side ankle movement and ankle pivot due to that ball joint. I wish we had a little bit more ankle pivot than that, but at least it's some. And to measure out this Hot Rod figure, you can see that he is standing just barely under 5.5 inches tall. Then again, for our Lambo Bros comparison, we have Sideswipe from Masterpiece, and we have Lockdown from Age of Extinction. And then here's Hot Rod next to the Studio Series Lockdown figure, and yeah, you can see these two are standing at about the same height. Then here's Hot Rod next to a couple other Last Night figures, and yeah, I don't remember these characters that well. I mean, I remember them in the movie. I just rewatched Transformers The Last Night recently just because of this figure over here. Yeah, I want to watch the movie again. The very, very bad movie that it was. Still stupid fun sometimes, but mostly just very bad. And speaking of bad, here is our 86 Studio Series Hot Rod figure, which is actually a great figure. I love this figure. I love both of these figures. Hate this character. This one I don't have a problem with, but yeah, good figure still. And then here's Hot Rod next to your average 6-inch scale figure. We have the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Hot Rod. Whew, it's a cold time of year. Good thing you're around. Get all nice and close to the Hot Rod. Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, show some love to the channel by simply clicking that like button. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. I mostly talk about Marvel, but I've been better about getting more Transformers reviews up on this channel because I love my Transformers, man. And this figure really stood out to me. Recently acquired a bunch of Transformers figures, and this one just really stood out to me because of both modes looking really badass. I really like both modes a lot. One thing I didn't mention earlier is that the arms, you know, the forearm portion, how it folds with the wheel, that could have been more compact. I wish that could have been flipped around in a way where it didn't stick out as much, but I still really like the frame of the figure. I like the paint applications in both modes. I mean, really, both modes look freaking awesome, right? I mean, there might be some details here and there missing, but really, I think the modes look really good. I like the transformation a lot too. The transformation is not too complicated, so I am very pleased with this figure. And at the price point of around 25 bucks, I'm gonna give this Hot Rod a Sun rating of I love it! And I'd like to know what you guys think, so please let me know in the comments section below. Do you have this figure? Do you like this figure? I just love how compact that alt mode is, and the robot mode's a ton of fun to play around with, especially with the articulation. So I'm curious to know what you guys think. If you want to follow me over on social media, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and now on Whatnot. And I will catch you guys later. Peace!
That's crispy.
Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't. Your face.